Transparency is the currency of trust. In an increasingly interconnected world, supply chain is not only about managing operation, it's about building trust, ensuring sustainability, and mitigating the risk, or we call supply chain due diligence. We are the Paretos Team, and we will briefly present the importance of supply chain due diligence in assessing social and environmental impact. Global supply chain create opportunity and growth, yet managing them responsibly is essential. Business today use integrated supply network across multiple countries to reduce costs. Yet, this change can introduce significant risks. Supply chain due diligence help in tackling human rights violation, environmental damage, and unethical practice. GreenTech Innovation, a mid-sized electronic manufacturer known for its sustainability, serves components globally, including from regions with neglectful labor and environmental laws. The company has recently come under criticism for non-compliance with industry standards. Here, we can find the key question that GreenTech needs to be solved. How can GreenTech Innovation improve its supply chain management to restore its reputation and regain investor confidence?
To address the key question, we divided the case into 3 parts: an introduction to the due diligence process, how to conduct effective due diligence, and potential challenges that may arise. After that, effective supply chain management is achieved, and we provide a real case example to see the real implementation of due diligence process. For GreenTech Innovations, due diligence is the key to addressing the ethical challenges within its supply chain. Child labor cases linked to export goods often occur indirectly, particularly at the early stages of the supply chain like raw material extraction. This alarming statistic, 28 to 43%, emphasizes the importance of vigilance. Implementing due diligence helps business anticipate and prevent risks related to human rights violation and environmental damage. It also ensures legal compliance, meeting standards like those from the OECD, and avoids financial and legal consequences, such as fines from 50,000 up to 8 million euros under the German Supply Chain Act. Neglecting due diligence brings serious risks. Legally, it can lead to fines and penalties, while financially unexpected supply chain problems can disrupt production and increase costs. Operational disruptions such as strikes or supply delays can hurt profitability. Finally, the company's reputation may suffer, leading to lost stakeholder trust and long-term business challenges. By adhering to global standards, GreenTech strengthens its credibility. Frameworks like the OECD due diligence guidance and UN guiding principles provide consistent guidelines for identifying risks, embedding ethical business conduct, and monitoring progress. Used across 38 countries, these standards help align company practices internationally, avoiding inconsistencies in due diligence expectations. There are 3 main benefits of following these standards. First, it improves transparency, building trust with customers, investors, and regulators. Second, it improves risk management, enhancing long-term sustainability. Third, it facilitates market access, offering a competitive edge in regulated markets. The OECD also supports business with self-assessment tools and evaluations, ensuring compliance and effective implementation of these global guidelines. By mapping its supply chain, GreenTech enhances its foundation for ethical, efficient, and sustainable operations. The first step was identifying both direct and indirect suppliers, which improved traceability, quality control, and compliance. Next, the company analyzed supplier locations and local regulations, ensuring legal compliance and addressing potential risks early. Finally, GreenTech identified high-risk areas in its supply chain, allowing it to target critical issues like labor abuse and environmental damage with proactive measures. Understanding the entire supply chain brings multiple benefits: better collaboration, enhanced quality control, lower costs, and improved cash flow. With the global supply chain management market projected to grow from $25.7 billion in 2022 to $72.1 billion by 2032, reflecting a strong annual growth rate of 10.9%. This highlights how investing in effective supply chain strategies is more important than ever for business success.
The due diligence process must consider 3 key components: supplier audit, risk assessment tool, and stakeholder engagement. Supplier audit are systematic evaluation involving visit to supplier site to ensure compliance with social, environmental, and local standards. Supplier audits are essential because they minimize the risk of legal penalties, provide transparency in the supply chain, ensure suppliers adhere to quality standards, and offer opportunities for companies to engage with suppliers. The second key component, risk assessment tools, is needed to identify, evaluate, and prioritize risks. These tools are important as they provide a basis for developing contingency plans to mitigate risk and support strategic decision-making. The last key component is meaningful stakeholder engagement. To be meaningful, four concepts must be present: two-way communication, ongoing, conduct in good faith, and responsive. Stakeholder engagement is important because it provides companies with access to information that no social audit or self-assessment questionnaire can reveal. It also enables companies to make informed decisions and identify collaborative ways to address complex issues within the supply chain. Stakeholders are involved in all stages of the due diligence process, with steps that include stakeholder identification and analysis until management functions. Engaging with stakeholders contributes to more effective supply chain management by fostering cooperation, improving transparency, and strengthening accountability. In the due diligence process, stakeholders are divided into internal and external groups, each playing a distinct role in ensuring comprehensive risk management and ethical operations. On the internal side, the board and senior management oversee key issues, support policy, and adapt strategies based on risk assessment. Cross-department teams ensure the policy commitments align with internal practice, integrate into the supply chain, and address complaints. Externally, suppliers tackle their own challenge, support corrective action, and assess affected parties. Customers and investors ensure alignment with company commitments and report performance accurately. Trade unions and NGOs identify policy gaps, understand local needs, and aid mitigation efforts. Affected groups like workers and communities provide accurate risk information and assess company action for relevance and effectiveness. Its stakeholders' involvement is essential to the success of the due diligence process, contributing to a true risk assessment, strategic alignment, and sustainable management practice. To ensure responsible supply chain management, GreenTech must assess three critical areas: labor practice, environmental management, and community impact. For labor practice, this means protecting human rights globally and maintaining a fair, ethical workplace that values diversity and inclusion. Environmental management focuses on understanding climate risk, responsible waste and water management, and preserving biodiversity to minimize environmental impact. Lastly, community impact involves evaluating how operations affect local communities. Assessing this area provides a clear view of the social and environmental impact across the supply chain. If these areas are neglected, there are significant consequences. For CSR practice, erosion of social value, stakeholder trust depletion, public backlash, and loss of key stakeholders. Finally, socially conscious consumers, investors, and employees may choose to disengage, leading to a loss of critical support. All of this can make a bad reputation and operation of the company. Some measures implemented to address the issue. The first one is supplier code of conduct. They outline the minimum standard of supplier, training and capacity building to improve suppliers' understanding of and compliance with standard, and regular monitoring to ensure ongoing compliance and to identify and address issues promptly. Supplier code of conduct improve the supply chain practice by showing the commitment to ethical business practice, ensure company conduct their business responsibly, and ensure decisions are made with an ethical perspective. Let's look at a real-world example to understand the impact of implementing a supplier code of conduct. In 1993, Nike faced criticism for low wage and poor working conditions, leading to a boycott and a drop in their share price. In response, Nike developed a code of conduct and helped establish the Fair Labor Association. Today, their digital growth has reached 24% with a 38% share of the total market.
Conducting due diligence in a company is not easy. There are several challenges that may arise and need to be addressed by the company, whether it's across four main areas. For the supplier, many suppliers reflect sustainability goals, complicating compliance. Only 51% of Asia Pacific companies have set net zero emission targets, increasing regulation risk. For the geographical, regional differences in regulation, such as between Asia and Europe, make compliance difficult. The diligence incurred costs of 0.9% and 3.1% of net sales for environmental and social purpose, potentially affecting financial sustainability. For the long-term risk, the current uncertainties in demand, finance, regulation, and supplier compliance can disrupt performance. This can arise at any time and can have a substantial impact on the diligence practice. Therefore, to effectively manage due diligence challenges, company must prepare implement strategies for each aspect. Firstly, to ensure compliance from suppliers, company should establish contracts that include a combination of reward and penalties. This process begins with building awareness among suppliers about the diligence requirement. The next step is to set clear KPI within the contracts. If a supplier doesn't meet these KPIs, they will receive a warning and potentially face penalties. Conversely, they are rewarded. By creating contracts with defined KPIs, penalties, and rewards, companies can enhance compliance and accountability among suppliers. Secondly, geographical variation in regulation require a flexible approach. To address this, companies should establish universal standards along with modular standards tailored to specific regions. The modular standard development involves several stages: regional information, modular development, expert collaboration, reporting, and evaluation. Through this modular approach, companies can adapt regulation regionally, ensuring effective due diligence implementation across diverse geographical areas. Companies must be considered their financial efficiency and long-term planning. To balance financial efficiency and optimize costs, companies can use long-term planning strategies to allocate financial resources according to due diligence areas. Key strategies include building long-term partnership with suppliers, prioritizing fund allocation to key areas using the 80-20 principle, obtaining certification like ISO for environmental and labor practice to ensure compliance, and conducting regular audits to drive continuous improvement. By efficiently allocating funds and aligning them with the company's specific needs, companies can manage financial resources more effectively. To maintain consistent performance in long term, companies should implement regular monitoring and continuous improvement initiatives. Why is it important? This approach helps companies by allowing early detection of potential violation, enabling adaptation to changing circumstances, ensuring a strong commitment to regulatory compliance. Company can use tools and methods like value chain analysis, risk analysis, ISO standards, OECD guidelines, and guidance principles to enhance monitoring and improvement process. In summary, by allocating resources strategically and maintaining a culture of continuous improvement, companies can ensure that their due diligence performance remains consistent and compliant over the long term.
The Rana Plaza disaster highlights the importance of supply chain due diligence. On April 24, 2013, the Rana Plaza building in Safar, Bangladesh collapsed. Cracks in the building structure had been reported earlier, but workers were still told to enter. The issue was ignored until the building finally fell apart. Benetton, Walmart, Primark, and Mango were 4 brands linked to this tragedy. The lack of proper supply chain management was the main cause of this collapse, including lack of proper permits and weak supply integrity, insufficient safety inspection and poor oversight of factory condition, low wage and neglect of worker safety. The impact was massive, both non-financially and financially. Over 1,100 fatalities and 2,500 injuries, and around 30 million compensation paid to victims, funded by several involved companies. This shows that neglecting supply chain due diligence can lead to serious financial and ethical consequences. The opposite case with supply chain due diligence, as demonstrated in GreenTech practices, benefit both companies and customers by supporting sustainability, enhancing risk management, and building stakeholder trust. This effort leads to long-term advantages for companies, such as operational efficiency and cost saving, and also access to sustainable investment. This benefit provides a competitive edge by enabling market differentiation and adaptation to regulatory trends. Beyond business benefit, companies can create significant societal value by promoting trust and transparency, health and well-being for customers, and also positive social impact. If I were a customer, I would choose a company that prioritizes social and environmental issues, because this factor not only directly impact my daily life, but can also pose serious threats if neglected. This perspective aligns with the growing trend in Indonesia, where 68% of customers consider ESG factor when making purchasing decisions. A resilient supply chain is built on trust. A trust arises from the essence of due diligence. We are Paretos Team. Thank you.